start off with the pitching staff. The pitching staff actually has been pretty good this year, and I think Matt Blake, the Yankees pitching coach, has actually done a really good job. I think you can make a pretty good rotation and a pretty good bullpen with what the Yankees have, while also using a few pieces to improve your team and rebuild on the fly. Garrett Cole is your ace. He's obviously not going anywhere. Luis Severino should be back in July, coming back from Tommy John surgery. There's no reason to think that he won't come back strong. Domingo Hermann has been really solid this year, and I feel like he's part of the solution. I know he's had some off-the-field issues, but he's got really good stuff, and I feel like he's turned the corner in his life as well. Jordan Montgomery has been a little bit inconsistent. He has not been the second coming of Andy Pettitte in terms of consistency and dominance, but he has been a pretty good middle-of-the-rotation type of pitcher. His ERA is under 4, and we saw against the White Sox he's capable of just dominating on any given night. Corey Kluber is currently injured, but we saw what he can give you when he's healthy. I think that the Yankees should just get him back and try and manage his workload through the end of the season. And if he does well, maybe you bring him back next year. He's a veteran. Not only can he be good for extended stretches while he's on the field, but the younger guys can also learn a lot about pitching from watching this guy, watching him prepare, and he can serve as kind of a pitching mentor. I think the Yankees have a number of very good bullpen pieces, but I'm not a fan of a bullpen that's just nothing but guys who throw 100 miles an hour. I want a mix of different types of pitchers. I like Zach Britton as your closer. He's a sinker baller, he keeps the ball in the ballpark, and I like Jonathan Loaisiga as your setup man. He's got that 98, 99, 100 mile an hour fastball, also really good command this year, and a really good breaking pitch. Lucas Litke is a great situational lefty. He's got a good curveball. He's been pretty accurate. He's cheap. Darren O'Day is another guy who can take on righties. Think of Litke and O'Day as sort of the Jeff Nelson and Mike Stanton of the late 90s. Then you have Wandy Peralta. The Yankees got him for Mike Tauchman. I've been really impressed with him, and the Yankees are moving in the right direction as far as pitching goes, getting more left-handed relievers. You have Mike King. He can pitch in relief. He throws sinkers. He can also be a swingman if you need somebody for the rotation for a couple of rounds. I think he's done much better this year. He's harnessed that sinker a little bit better. He's had the occasional blip, but I think he's going to be a valuable pitcher, and the Yankees should hang on to him. Nestor Cortez Jr., he can be kind of a funky look out of the bullpen. And then Albert Abreu, he's another guy who has that triple-digit fastball velocity, and I think the Yankees should hang on to that arm. As far as trade chips go, I think you could get something for Aroldis Chapman, given how dominant he's been this year, and we saw how that worked out the last time the Yankees traded him. Chad Green has good stuff, but I'm just not super comfortable with him all the time. I feel like he goes through ruts where he can cost you a lot of games. He's also not getting any younger. Davie Garcia and Clark Schmidt are the two biggest names as far as pitching prospects go, but honestly, neither one of them has impressed me to the point where I wouldn't move them in the right deal if it helps balance out your roster. Sometimes you got to make moves that are difficult, and you got to give up people that are valued by the organization to get something else of value. As far as Jameson Taillon goes, I like him as a friend, but I'm just not that into him. I think the Yankees have a number of strong position players. DJ LeMahieu has regressed a little bit, but he's great over there at first base. He's a contact hitter who I think will improve. He's earned enough credit in my book that I think that he will adjust. Gleyber Torres, I think, should move back to second base. He hit better when he was a second baseman. He's much better defensively as a second baseman. He doesn't need to get rid of the ball as quickly and risk bad throws as a second baseman. Gio Urshela, he's a fantastic third baseman. I think you keep him over there at third, and I think you need to go out and get a shortstop. Aaron Judge is part of the solution in right field. Obviously, he should be the captain going forward. Kyle Higashioka, I would keep him around as your backup catcher. I think he's a fantastic backup catcher. I like him as Garrett Cole's personal catcher. And then Miguel Andujar and Tyler Wade. Andujar is kind of a guy who can play multiple positions, left field, third base, first base. Doesn't play any of them exceptionally, but he can pick you up a couple of hits on any given night or hit the ball out of the ballpark. I think you keep his bat around. He's a free swinger, he hits to all fields, and he hits good pitching from time to time. And Tyler Wade and I have had our problems, but he's been better lately. And he's also looked good in the outfield as a defensive replacement. I like what I'm seeing from him as a backup outfielder. You can put him in late in games and he can cover a lot of ground against a fly ball hitting team. And then Estevon Floreal. I like him as a prospect. I don't think I would deal him. He's a big lefty who has power to all fields. He's got good speed. He can play center field. I think he could be a good stopgap in between Aaron Hicks and Jason Dominguez. Expendable in my mind is Gary Sanchez. Obviously, this one stings a little bit. He's got a lot of fans out there. He has shown some improvement this year, but we need a true catcher. We need somebody who is a defensive first catcher who also doesn't kill you with the bat. Rougned Odor's a nice little player sometimes, but to me he's expendable. He's got kind of a hole in his swing above the hands. Clint Fraser. I know a lot of fans love this guy. I love watching this guy. I think he would flourish elsewhere. The Yankees need to get more left-handed, and obviously left field is one of those places where you can make an upgrade and get left-handed at the same time. Luke Voit has a ton of power. I think he would be an amazing DH. I want to get him off of his feet at first base. I think the Yankees could be able to get something for him just given how well he's played in recent years. I think somebody would take a gamble on a 40-plus home run bat over the next couple of seasons. And Giancarlo Stanton. I know there's little to no chance that he will ever leave the Yankees. His contract is likely stuck with the Yankees, much as Jacoby Ellsbury's was. But if Hal Steinbrenner asked me to take over as GM, the first thing I would do is call every team in the league and say, how much would it cost? How much of his contract do we have to pay for him to come play for you? And I would go up to Giancarlo and tell him, look, New York is not for everybody. You need a fresh start. You will excel somewhere else. And they'll be able to put you in the outfield. Right now, we need the roster flexibility. We love you. We'll bring you back on Old Timers Day, give you a nice watch. If we somehow win it all this year, we'll give you a ring. But you've got to go. Brett Gardner, I think it's time for him to go live at a farm upstate where he has lots of room to run and play. As far as prospects go, pretty much anybody not named Jason Dominguez is on the table if the Yankees are trying to reload this season. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It helps other Yankees fans find the channel. If you really enjoyed it, check out the swag section. We've got tons of great designs to support all your favorite Yankees. And if you simply cannot get enough Yankees content, check out the podcast version of this channel, The Frieze by NYY Recaps, available wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Derek. Thanks for watching.